everybody. The first part of Module 3 will be the guest lecture that is scheduled for Tuesday, September 15th at 6 p.m. But I wanted to give you guys just a quick overview of the due dates that are coming up for September 15th at 11:59 p.m. to wrap up Module 2 and what to expect over the next 2 weeks in Module 3. So in Module 3, we'll be going over geodesy and transformation. The guest lecture won't be covering any of this information, and the first lecture that is going to cover the content of this module will be open on Thursday, September 17th at 6 p.m., and that will be the Datum I Don't Even Know lecture video. Okay, so really quickly, I want to go over wrap up for Module 2. So the Module 1 Lab Part 2 Basic QA/QC is due September 15th by 11:59 p.m. You guys should be wrapping up Discussion 2, Critical Analysis of Maps in the Media, and getting your responses into 2 peers. And so I just want to be clear that you need to be responding to 2 separate peers. I really want to continue to encourage further discussion. Responding to other peers' responses to you is awesome, and I want that to continue happening, but it does not count as one of your responses for the final grade. Okay, so you should also be wrapping up the pre-lab and the second part of the lab of mapping earthquakes of Northern California. This is also due September 15th by 11:59 p.m. And Module 2 quiz is also due September 15th by 11:59 p.m. And just keep in mind that the quiz is not extendable. That is a hard due date. Then you cannot make up quizzes. So with the assignments, the discussion, and the lab assignments, you have an extra week to get things in with the 10% penalty, but the quizzes are final when they close at their due date and time. Okay, so for Module 3, this module is broken up into 2 weeks. And so week 4, we need to be focusing on reading Chapter 3 in the text, communication, and design. You'll be participating in the guest lecture with Katrina Nystrom on September 15th at 6 p.m. And then you'll watch the lecture video, so the intro to Module 3, which is what you're watching right now, yay. And then the lecture that will be open this Thursday, September 17th at 6 p.m., lecture Datum I Don't Even Know Him. For this week's discussion, we'll be focusing on the guest lecture with Katrina Nystrom. You'll still be going over your clearest and muddiest points from the reading, but make sure to participate in that guest lecture so you'll be able to also participate in discussion for. And so that will be due September 22nd by 11:59 p.m. So again, the earlier you respond in the week, the better, to allow time and discussion and responses for your peers and for yourself. So this week's lab assignment is also split up into 2 different parts. So we have the pre-lab working with projections part 1, and then the rest of the lab learning about projections using ArcGIS part 2. So those are they're the same lab, but basically you start from the beginning of the tutorial at the end of Chapter 3, and you work part way until you're prompted in that first lab activity, the pre-lab. You are going to be zipping up your workspace folder and submitting your workspace folder where you're at that point in the lab. And then on the learning about projections using ArcGIS assignment page, you'll be submitting your workspace folder and the deliverables for that lab activity, and those are explained on the assignment page and at the end of the lab in the tutorial. Okay, so both of those are due September 22nd by 11:59 p.m. We will be having open lab this Thursday, and so if you have any questions on the lab assignments, please attend that so we can address any issues. And of course, you always have the Q&A forum available. And if you need one-on-one help and can't make the open lab, please send me an email and we can set up an office hour where we could work one-on-one via Zoom. There is a Module 3 quiz at the end of week 4. Technically, this is just Module 3 Part 1, and you'll be quizzed on the content from week 4. And so this will be open from September 17th at 6 p.m., which is this coming Thursday, and next Tuesday, September 22nd through 11:59 p.m. Again, these quizzes need to be completed within that time frame. There's no late opportunity or makeup unless you have an excused absence, and that will be determined by me, and you need to contact me ahead of time to let me know what's going on. Again, these quizzes are all open book and note. You'll have 2 attempts to take them, and you usually get around an hour or so to complete the quiz. All right, so that's what you need to be focusing on for week 4. The second part of Module 3, week 5, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up because we'll be having our first midterm. It's really more of a quarter term. The midterms in this course has been split up into 2 sections, and so the midterm for this section is just, you'll only be tested on modules 1 through 3. And so I want you guys to be prepared for that, and it's not a shock at the beginning of next week on Tuesday that you're seeing that information. So again, we're just going to back up a little bit. We'll be reading chapter 3 in the text, Communication and Design, and I'm working on obtaining a library course. By next Tuesday, when next week opens, I will let you know if that course is available and the content. If not, we'll just be focusing on the chapter and the text. There will be a lecture video, Flattening the Earth, which will need to be watched. There will be a discussion, Maps and Social Equality, but there will be no lab next week to allow you guys to focus on preparing for the midterm exam. So the midterm is going to be around 100 points, and it'll all be on material that you've been exposed to in the readings, in the lectures, in the lab activities. It all should be pretty familiar to you, so you can study the notes that you have and the readings, go over the lecture videos. They're all available on Canvas, and they're recorded, plus the lecture slides. This will also be open book and notes, and you'll have around 2 hours to complete the midterm and 2 attempts to complete that, also where your highest score is kept. So I'm just going to go over week 5 briefly, because at the beginning of next week, we'll go over what is expected for week 5 in Module 3. I just wanted, again, to give you guys a heads up about that midterm. Great. So really quickly, I want to go over the module home pages in Canvas with you guys for a second. Okay, so here we are on the Module 3 homepage. So all the links here should be functioning, and if they are not, please let me know. I also have the calendar set for September. October and November and December are still not up to date. So just go ahead and rely on the assignment pages and the information that you get in the lecture videos, and you'll be fine. So you'll see on the home page that we have both week 4 and week 5 for Module 3. So next week on Tuesday, when we start a new week, just remember that you're coming back to Module 3. And you'll see here that I have the midterm scheduled out, and of course there's no labs for this week. And I really want to highlight that each module has a resources section, and sometimes there will be really great videos to watch. Also, this is where you can find all the lecture slide PDFs that are uploaded throughout the module, and those can be used for exam prep and reference, but they don't replace class attendance or watching the lecture videos. So really quickly, let's get back to these videos here. So these resources are great because they're a lot shorter than the lecture videos, and they are quick and to the point, and they really break certain concepts down that are a lot easier to understand, in my opinion, rather than just reading the text and watching the lecture videos. So I would suggest making the time to watch these. They're fun and they're interesting, and it'll help solidify the main points in whatever module they're provided in. So let's take a quick look at Module 2. Going back in time a little bit, I just want to show you that all of the lecture slides are now available here, along with some other resources. So we have basic cartographic design reference, broken data link, and then also map layout checklist. These are just like great reminders, and just like a quick, especially this one here, the map layout checklist, it really helps to keep your thoughts organized when you're preparing your maps ready and getting ready for submission, just to make sure that at the very least you have everything that is going on here. I also have the open lab recording uploaded to the resources section of the lab. And so this will be a good time to talk about the recordings from Zoom. They take about a day to record and get up to the cloud for me to get a link to share with you guys. And so the open lab recording will usually be put up the following day, and it'll be the same thing for the guest lectures. So the difference between the open lab and the guest lecture recordings is that the open lab is available to anyone at any time. The guest lecture recordings, which will be included up in the lecture page here. So again, that lecture video, the recording, will be uploaded to the lecture page, most likely on September 16th at some point. As soon as it's available, I will get it up there for you guys. The difference is that you will need a passcode to access that recording. And so if you're in attendance during the scheduled time on September 15th at 6 p.m., you'll receive a passcode for that in your email. If you did not attend, you will need to email me to get that passcode. Okay, so that should wrap everything up for what I want to go over for Module 3. Be sure to check in on September 17th, which is Thursday at 6 p.m. to watch the second half of Week 4's lectures.